guys, it's Seda here, Gourmet Next Door. And tonight, I'm a pirate. Why? We are taking meatballs to a vegetarian territory. So move over, meat, because the vegetarian meatballs are coming. So let's briefly walk through the ingredients. So here I have some raw untoasted almonds. I'm gonna use some Parmesan cheese, the good quality Parmigiano. I have 1 egg, 2 cloves of garlic. I'm using Psylium Husk. You can use oats in the recipe. And then I have a little bit cream, whipping cream, little bit mustard, and then we got some spices. So in the spices, I have some dried oregano, I have some dried mint, and then I have my favorite too, which is smoked paprika and good old ground sumac. Now, in addition, of course, we're gonna be frying up the meatballs in some olive oil, and all we need is a little salt and pepper. Now, with that, let's get veggie balling. So this recipe is absolutely inspired by my amazing brother. So he's been eating plant-based for a while now, and he asked me if I had a recipe for vegetarian meatballs. So I've been testing this recipe for a couple of days now, but I feel I nailed it. So now is the time to share this awesome recipe with you. Everything comes together in this little food processor. Of course, you can use a bigger one, but I'm gonna use this little guy. It's super easy. So I'm gonna be using almonds as my source of meat in these meatballs. And I'm basically gonna put quarter cup of almonds into my food processor. And then I'm gonna add the same amount of good Parmigiano. So I'm just gonna make this in smaller pieces and I'll throw it into the food processor because it's gonna do the work for me. Now into this I will add my 2 cloves of garlic. You know, any good meatball has garlic, it has some spices. So I'm gonna bring similar flavor profile, but in a vegetarian format. Perfect. Now, any good meatball requires some sort of breading. And this has been the challenge, to be honest, because I'm trying to make this low carb. So usually they put breadcrumbs. So today I'm actually trying with the Psylium Husk. This stuff has less carbs. It still has carbs, but like compared to breadcrumbs, it has probably 1/10 of the carb content. So it's still very figure friendly. So just like the rest of the ingredients, I'm going to add quarter cup of this stuff. But before I add the Psylium Husk, I'm gonna actually go ahead and whiz the almonds with the Parmesan and the garlic because these are hard ingredients. So I want them a little bit crummy texture. It's not gonna be like super fine. This is why I'm not using almond flour, because I want a bit of texture and a bit of meatiness in the food. Go ahead and give this a couple of pulses. I think this is perfect. Now, I just want to show you this. You see, it's kind of like a coarse crumb, and that's perfect at the moment. So into this, I'm going to add my quarter cup Psylium Husk. I'm gonna put 1 egg straight into the bowl. I love these kind of recipes. Everything comes together in one bowl. Let's put some salt. Now into this, I will add some spices. So I'm going to put a good half tablespoon of oregano. And I'm gonna do the same thing with mint. So I'm putting half tablespoon of these spices. Now for the sumac, it's more robust. So let's put like a quarter tablespoon. Perfect. And the same is gonna happen with our paprika. So this is gonna give the food a really nice color as well as flavor. Perfect. Now, my secret ingredient is mustard. So I'm putting a nice teaspoon of mustard. Not too much, nothing too aggressive, but I want that kind of spicy note at the end. Now, my secret to moist low carb meatballs is heavy cream. So I'm gonna put a little bit heavy cream. That's probably, I would say, a teaspoon or so. Now what I want to do is mix this up, and then I'm going to see if it actually holds together like a meatball. If not, I'm going to adjust, and I'll show you that so we learn as we go. You guys like my pirate hat? See, my collection is wider than you think. I want to show you this. First, it smells deadly good. Why? Because of that mustard. So to test meatballs, what I do is I will grab it, okay? Take it in my hand, and without squeezing too much, I will try to make it a ball. And you see this one is crumbling. That means it needs something more to hold it together. So I'm gonna add a bit more cream. So the cream is going to be my binder in this case. So make sure the sides are mixed in. Now I want to try my meatball. Do you see now how it kind of comes together? Exactly. So this is done. What I'm gonna do is turn on my Teflon pan, my favorite pan here, to a medium-high heat, and I'm going to put in some olive oil. So I want the pan to heat up. In the meantime, let me show you my little itty-bitty ice cream scooper. I find for meatballs this is the perfect size, so I'm gonna do it with this one. So we go in, I grab the meatball, and then I'm gonna show you here, I drop it. Okay, now I'm gonna drop all of them, and then I'll give them a little gentle push on the top, so they're not like kind of cookies, they're more like a meatball. So it still looks a bit crumbly, and that's okay, because if it's too wet, they're gonna be all over the pan. So you want a kind of a balance here. I told you I love my little mini food processor. This guy is magic. Perfect. Now, I want to show you what the pan looks like. So these are my veggie meatballs. I'm gonna add a bit more oil because I want to make sure all these guys have access to oil, because at the end of the day we're frying up meatballs, right? As the trick with these meatballs is because they're not meat, you want to wait a little bit until they are cooked and they're firm. I want a nice golden crust on these meatballs, and then I will turn them over and then give them a nice little pat on the back to make them a little bit larger. So the way I'm gonna eat these meatballs tonight, because I have such a craving for a sub sandwich, so I'm gonna put them in this hot dog bun. I know this is not low carb, but it's okay. It's been a tough week. I can afford a little carb here and there. So I'm just gonna toast this bun in the same oil that the meatballs are cooking. And then I'm going to put my meatballs, and I'll put on top something spectacular. But these meatballs are honestly so robust, you can dress it the way you want. So I'll come to that in 1 second. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a little flip, because I feel like they are done on one side. And I am right. They have a nice, gorgeous crust. And as I told you, I'm giving it a little bit squeeze so these guys become more flat. Guys, I want to show you what the pan looks like. Do you see that nice crust on those meatballs? They are fantastic. I'm turning down my heat, so it's medium now, because I want these to cook through. So let's talk about the bun. You want to always toast your bun. Remember, people, never eat a bun without toasting it, okay? This is very, very important. Smells so good, and I think nuts are such a great replacement for meat, because they give you pretty much all the benefits, but it's from a plant source. So I think nuts are awesome. I'm also going to try this recipe with mushroom, kind of an integration, but I didn't have mushrooms, so that's for another time. So let me tell you a little bit about this awesome garlic sauce. So this is a garlic cream sauce. This is very, very common and popular in Dubai. I actually got introduced to this when I moved to Dubai. It's essentially garlic, olive oil, lemon juice, and salt. That's it. But they whip it for so long that it actually becomes white. I think you guys can see it. So I'm going to be dressing my meatballs with this. But you can dress these guys with like yogurt, tzatziki kind of dressing. You can put regular mustard, ketchup, mayo. They are really versatile. You can put buffalo sauce, you can put barbecue sauce. So go as creative as you wish, like we pirates do in the meatball land. Guys, the meatballs are done. I'm going to remove them from the heat. And then I'm just gonna move them over to a pan because I don't want them to overcook. So they become a little bit like falafel. You see, they look like falafel, but they don't have any chickpeas, so it's definitely a low carb version. And the taste is gonna be awesome because the recipe has been tested and tried. So in my pan, because I'm gonna toast my bun, remember, I'm putting just a little bit olive oil. It's off the heat. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut my bun. And I'm gonna kind of butterfly my hot dog bun. And now I go into the pan, and I want you to see this. So what I do with my burgers and things like that is I basically just go around and I want this bread to soak up all that flavor that was drained into the pan. That's the secret of a great sandwich. Now, look at how gorgeous this thing looks. Exactly. So now, first, of course, we need a little glue, right? So I'm going to be using my garlic sauce here. So I'm spreading it around. That looks super good. Now let's layer up some of these guys. Oh. Guys, trust me, you're not going to miss the meat. So I'm putting 4 at the moment. If I'm more hungry, I'll come back for it. Now let's also put little garlic sauce on the other side of the bread. So it's gonna be a little garlicky sandwich. Looks so gorgeous. It's looking a little bit pale, so I'm gonna chop up a little parsley. Remember, we eat with our eyes. So always think aesthetics, always think if you wanna eat the food, it probably tastes phenomenal. Both for flavor, but also for the color. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it. Okay guys, so I just wanna show you this. Look at my awesome Veggie Meatball Sub. The only thing I'm gonna bring to this party is a little sriracha. Why? Because we already have garlic and sriracha has garlic. So it's a sweet, spicy, garlicky sauce. It's gonna go perfectly and I want the red color. So I'm just gonna go around. Oh, guys, I want you to see this. There you have it. This is my vegetarian meatball sub. Bon appetit. Guys, there's no elegant way to do this, so wish me luck. I'm going in. Oh. All right. I'm going in from this side. That looks great. Guys, this is finger-licking good. Give this recipe a try. I promise you, you're never gonna miss the meat. Thanks for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and stay as beautiful as you are. Stay as awesome as you are. Love you all. Take care and catch you next time. Ciao.